Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wolf Den 808 channel. We're continuing our Night of 1,000 Screen games. Yes, this has been long, and my players have been at it. I'll let them introduce themselves and whatever they want to plug. Since we have some time, just a quick recap. Our investigators, or one investigator, Emerald Magistrate, and his pal, Okoto, have been following the items for this festival, learning a few things. The porcelain mask turned the dead into zombies, and the sword of secrets can kill Oni, or at least a specific one, which they were able to do. Now they're lurking who is behind this, who summoned the Oni, and what's going on. And we'll turn it over to them. We'll start with Mr. Kyle.
Hey people, I'm playing Akoto Masao. He is working his way towards being a Kensai. He's a Kodo Bushi, working his way towards Kensai school. Hopefully, God willing, he lives long enough to get there. He is a older character, so it's going to be kind of fun to see how he works out. As far as what I have to plug, just go check us out on Legacy Game Mastering on YouTube. It's fairly fun to watch. I'm kind of redirecting it now, so hopefully it's a little bit easier to swallow that channel.
Mr. Andrew.
I'm playing Hide Kenpachi. I'm Kasada's third favorite son. I'm an Emerald Magistrate.
Sweet and to the point. And just for a rough sake, you guys are at the Emerald Magistrate's offices. Yoko is there, tending the wounds and different things. We'll get to that medicine check. I've already pre-rolled it for the two of you, but we'll get to that as well. To recap what Mushi had said, this is the witch hunter that arrived in the during the fight with the Oni. He'd informed you that a caravan was robbed in the mountains some distance from the city, where a Moog cult worshiper was masquerading as an acting troupe. He and his companions had thought they'd killed all the cultists, but some survived and made it into town. He also explained to you that these cultists are more of a threat than they seem. They were producing mahu items, porcelain masks, that were sent to the city during the Bon Festival that is happening as I speak now. Right now it is about 11, almost 12 o'clock. Tells you that he followed the stolen items to this city, but was only able to get one. It seems the Moon Cult have found out about the masks as well. And three men, all overweight, all dressed in gray and brown, wearing no mon, were seen in the city finding these masks. Doesn't know what the Moon Cult wants with the masks, but he can guess. And it should be something dangerous for the city. And that's what you guys have been discussing for the last 15, 20 minutes. Oruku, the Doji Magistrate, has left, saying that if the Oni is dead, the item, the sword, returned, then he is going to go back to Hatamoto and inform him of what has been done. So, for the Akoto, you get 12 hit points back, and for the crab, you get 7. As during this time, tea is served, everything that's happening, Yoko is applying wraps and different things and has excused herself to cleanse herself and to do the proper rituals. The Edda that we're working on your flesh is gone as well, her assistance. What would you like to do?
The first thing I need to get refreshed on is, like I said, I need to refresh myself. I'm going to ask him about the names of the gentlemen that they think are involved again, so I can get those names. Because they had told us that they thought that they knew who they were, or possibly were.
The names are Hida. Oh, I gave you the wrong one. Hida Nisi, Kuni Ryu, Yatsuki Nobuku.
Hang on, Kuni what?
Hida Nisi, Kuni Ryu, Yatsuki Nobuko, and Kaoyu Shunya.
Yeah. Okay, so these are our 4 guys we think are baddies.
And as you guys are talking about this, the Emerald Magistrate can fill you in. All of these guys have been brought up on charges in dealing with stolen items in the past, Emerald Magistrate. You've assisted other magistrates, clan magistrates, with some of the thefts and stolen goods. But you don't think in your 6 months here being in the city, you don't think they have the brains to recognize Mahu when they see it.
If when I'm looking at their case files, is there any commonality between the four of them? Like, is there a common point of contact somewhere?
They're in the merchants' quarters. A lot of these guys are. And as you're pulling down your scrolls and the different things on these files, again, you have a whole wall, or Yoko has a whole wall dedicated. Just think of those old-fashioned mail slots, and you've got 3 or 4 scrolls in each of them, and there's probably hundreds, if not more, that your predecessors have added, and you've added your own to this as well. No, the only thing that you've got is they are all part of the Crab Clan. And that the stuff that they've stolen in the past or dealt with stolen items has been low-end stuff, nothing that dealt with Mahu.
So the first question has to be: are they smart enough to have done this on their own, or are they simply cat's paws? Are they being used as a way to misdirect this entire thing? So I'm actually going to posit that to the Emerald Magistrate that I think they're cat's paws based on what's been told to us. They don't seem like they're smart enough to set this up on their
own. Maybe. I don't really know that much about them other than what's in the files, right?
You've had no cause to deal with them. Those are, lesser magistrates. Those are clan magistrate matters that you've dealt with. Nothing that had to resolve around you. Except you've assisted in their investigations and things, i.e. they called you in because you're a bigger gun than they are.
I'll ask Moochie again. Why did these 4 names come up? Where did you get these 4 names from?
Uruku-san, myself, and the man that I've questioned in the past, again, and he kind of points out some of the scrolls that you've kind of laid out as he said these names, you've kind of pulled them out aside. And he says they've all dealt with stolen items. These masks are stolen. The caravan was stolen. So if these individuals have dealt with it in the past, I imagine they are aware of it in the future, or at least have their ears to the floor.
Is one of the 4 of them more impressive than the others? Have like a more impressive rap sheet?
Go ahead and give me an intelligence. Oh, you're thinking on the fly, so go ahead and give me. No, go ahead and give me an int history or a courtesy check.
Okay.
Your sage would apply.
I got a 27.
What kind of, you thinking someone that stands out to you, or what was your question?
If one of them has a more prominent rap sheet than the others for this sort of thing. Specifically, I'd be looking at the Cooney probably above the others.
27. The Cooney pops out at you as well because of your history, your time at Winter Court in Kunhita, and the Cooney you dealt with there. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty, and the Caillou makes sense as well. Are the two that kind of get out to you. The Caillou actually has a prosthetic right leg that he's gotten injured in the last probably 4 months. Last time he was visiting there, he was injured and kind of hasn't brought it up, and it's kind of a little bit suspicious to you because something of that kind of battle wound or something would be something that you talk about, something that you would brag about, or at least make others known for your glory and actions. And that's always kind of stuck in your craw a little bit. He came back kind of changed.
Okay, so I would posit to the 2 of them that these 2 in particular strike me as being the prime suspects if we're looking at the 4. The Cooney because of their knowledge of Mahu and the fact that they would be a little bit more ready to dabble in something like that if they're going to be a criminal. and then the Caillou because he's clearly hiding something. And then I'll cap that off by saying, but among the two, I really don't know where you want to start, unless you want to split up and try to interrogate both at the same time, but that could be dangerous in its own right.
Mushi says, Magistrate, I will follow your lead. And he kind of flexes his massive frame and his hands that have probably been in ash and rock to make them as hard as they are. At this time, Yoko brings tea. And she starts to perform the tea ceremony. It is going to take her some time to do it right. Again, Yoko is a perfectionist when it comes to this. So are you guys going to allow her to perform this for you, or are you guys going to continue with what you're doing? Because she is interrupting you.
Completely going to take Clay, but question, mechanically, normally you can only do tea ceremony once per day, can't you?
Mechanically, yes.
Normally you can. But because there's only two of us and we keep having to burn through our void.
I.e., I'm going to do
you're going to overwrite the rules.
Allow you guys.
That's fine.
You are going to do
double
your own ceremonies in this.
No,
Instead of giving it to you, you guys are going to.
No, I was curious about the actual raw, not how. No, I figured you were going to bypass it.
I'm giving you guys a chance of having one to save you in the future.
I'll stop and let her perform the tea ceremony.
Okay, go ahead and give me. Hell, I'll do it. I'll be nice to you guys because I'd like to mess with you later. So let me input this.
Things the DM should never say. Let me for 1,000, Alex.
Okay, you each will receive one void back.
Where's more? I need that. Desperately need that.
And as she's performing this, and you guys are going about, accepting it and going through the rituals, you notice that your jade is singed and kind of almost like tar at the tips, the two of you, from your previous encounter with the Oni. You also realize, Jade Magistrate, that your Tetsubo's jade has been crushed or flaked off, and almost as if you hit like a wet pavement, and you've got some of those slugs kind of oozed out and kind of hardened into this black mess where it affected the Oni.
Yeah, I'll lament my Tetsubo. I'll look at it and then look at Hidemuchi and say, Kasada's gift to me has been destroyed, unfortunately.
You could have it repaired, but it's going to take time.
Yes, it will.
I'll have to fall back on my Gaijin weapon. But when she's done with the tea ceremony, I'm going to say, I'm divided between the Kuni and the Caillou, but deep down in my gut, I hate that Caillou. I hate him. I hate him for his obfuscation, so that's where I want to go.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. So, at this point, I'm considering... Also, he would present the least chance of being able to fight back against us if something were to go sideways. Being injured already. Being gimped. So I actually think it's the best place to start since we're already kind of all worn out and tired from the night's events. Let's try not to start with something that can cause us to become more tired.
Yeah. Plus, I think the Caillou just think themselves architects or industrious, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's got his hand in trying to plan on something here. So yeah, I wouldn't say that part out loud, but the first part I say out loud, and then I would say yes, that's my decision unless anybody objects.
Oh, I'm totally
sounds like you're okay with it, Kodo.
Yeah, Kodo's totally fine with it. He's actually on board with this idea.
Mushi will nod.
He's actually thinking about how much easier it'll be to beat a Gimp down instead of a giant Oni. I mean, let's be fair.
Which leg did he replace, Clay?
His right has been replaced.
Didn't we kill a guy earlier that had one leg?
Not that I can remember at the top of my head, but
I mean, at least every man we've killed has had at least one.
No, I mean, like, didn't we kill a guy with a freaking wooden leg at the beginning of this?
no, you severed an enforcer's leg.
Okay, I thought for some reason I thought we fought a peg leg already.
So
if his right,
oh, go ahead.
You said it's his right leg, Clay.
His right leg. Yep.
I'm just going to say this right now because this is when I would be thinking it. I know it's his right leg, so I'm going to stay to the right of him. The entire interaction I have with this guy, I'm going to try to stay to his right side.
Sounds good.
He's a dirty bastard.
I'm just saying, like, if anything goes down, I want him to have a little bit of impediment to try to get at me.
Oh, so leave me on his good side. Oh, wait. Is he right-handed or left-handed? We would know that offhand?
You wouldn't know that in your files.
Okay. So hopefully he's right-handed, you dirty bastard.
Well, it won't matter. All the cutting power comes from the hips.
Mushi will go, okay, we may want to get cleaned up. As you guys now look at your splattered armor and whatnot.
What time is it, do I think?
It's about 11:30. If you get cleaned up and everything else, you can make it to the Caillou's place close to midnight.
Okay, I'll say then, all right, let's take 15 minutes to get cleaned up and then 15-minute hustle to the Caillou's place.
Yeah.
Chat.
We can double time if we have to, I think. I don't think any of us are that injured, are we?
Yoko will lead the lion and the crab out to an area in the back. Now, this looks like it's the office of the Emerald Magistrate is like a warehouse that has been converted to offices and probably a home. You are staying there, correct?
Do what?
Andrew, you're staying at your office, the slash home warehouse?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So she takes you guys out and back and think of the Dolph Lundgren movie with Bruce Lee's kid where he's sitting. There are tubs in a room. And it's got the different lanterns hanging. But basically, it's a steam room in which you can take a bath and steam yourself to clean. And there are soju screens in between. It looks like this will hose. Either it does criminals or it does his guests. Because, again, it's a home and his office. But she leads you to 2 alcoves to clean yourselves, refresh yourselves, clean your armor and whatnot. She will bow, and she leaves you there to handle. It's got hot water. Looks like she has been prepping for this for a while.
To say we might need some blood washing. Anyways, we're all pretty much covered in blood and stuff, aren't we?
Pretty much in ichor and gore and different things. Yeah. And you're beat up. Your armor has taken hits and damages and whatnot. So if that's all you guys are going to do, you are able to make it to the Caillou's place before midnight.
Hey, Clay.
Yes.
A single sakura rose slowly drops from the tree and lands in the pool and sends out ripples. Like
you want me to stab you in the heart tonight?
And because
I have this feeling Andrew wants to die. Not his character, Andrew.
Say the Kami are looking in now that he has done such a spiel. But as you guys approach, I will say you're fine and ready to go. You notice that he's probably not at his shop, but you have his address on where he lives in the Merchant District. And as you approach, you see the different folks that are coming about, the different festivities that are going, the lanterns that are all lit. And you come to where you think he is, that he lives, and you see a cart being loaded with bags, furniture, and boxes. You are now at the end of the hour. So it's about midnight as you approach, and you see a man, his right leg, it looks like an ornate, almost pogo stick that connects from his knee down. It's innate gold, and it's got different metals on it, and it looks like it's got different stones. You can't kind of tell what they are, and it's wrapped up. It's laced to his thigh. and he's throwing bags and boxes onto this cart. You see a woman, possibly his wife, is putting dishes and whatnot in this cart as well.
Awesome.
They haven't noticed you as you guys are approaching.
So Clay, I'm gonna break silence more about maybe about 50 yards from them. I'm gonna hail them, but I want to do this in a way that's backdoor, making them aware that we know that he's a thief. But I want to make sure I do it with some level of etiquette. So I want to roll etiquette in on this.
Okay, go ahead and
6K3, actually 7K3 because this is a skull skill. Yeah, sorry, I gotta roll. Okay, I'm keeping 3, so 9. Let's see, 996 would be 1825 total.
okay.
I'm sorry, 24. Sorry, math is wrong.
How do you wish to do so? You succeed.
I'm gonna make sure I wave him down, and I'm gonna ask him just to make sure he's aware. I'm gonna ask him if the Emerald Magistrate can help him load his cart.
And while this is going on, what are you doing, Hida?
Walking slightly behind Akoto and puffing out my chest and trying to look very important.
Okay, you notice that they stop. And as you guys are still approaching, you notice the woman is pregnant. And as they notice you, they first look at the Akoto, and his eye just glance over. He doesn't recognize any any Mons or station or whatnot that the Akoto has, and he kind of glances over him. And you notice the wife does this as well, but as soon as eyes lock on you, Magistrate, they turn away. The wife busies herself with loading the rickshaw, and the man mutters to her, "We must continue. We got to get out of the city tonight." And as you approach, that's what you've heard.
I will say then, greetings, Caillou-kun.
He stops and he looks a little pissed off that you would address him such, and then he notices who you are again, and his eyes don't look at your face, but look probably at your shoulder. Emerald Magistrate, son.
And I'll look at him, and then I will look at his wife with like a peering, withering gaze, knowing how weak women are. And I will place my gaze so heavily on her as if to crush her and make her lose her baby in the process. My gaze will be so powerful that she will fall to her knees.
Just stop it! Stop it!
You can do an intimidating check if you wish to do so to her.
Yeah, I mean,
don't have to describe it.
This is dirty business, man. Like, I'm gonna look at her, just try to crush her. Okay, so intimidation. Does that go off of?
Are you trying to use physical intimidation or just your intense glare?
Intense glare. I want to do it like Musashi style, so I'm like flaring the nostrils and like raising the brow.
Okay, go ahead and give me intimidation is an actual skill.
I don't have it, so
you can't sage that.
No,
I can void. I can
void.
use
You can void it if you got a void point. Yeah, so see if that's the
Or I
only.
can just roll without the skill.
Yeah,
But-
you can roll with a skill. I'm just saying if you don't have, there's no way around.
I gotta hang 1 second. Let me bring up one thing because you gotta.
I don't know what it goes off of. Is why I'm asking.
Yeah, I need to bring
intimidation is, I believe, intimidation is strength or willpower. Let me find it again.
We'll go willpower since you're using your gaze and your intensity. You're not using your physical.
Trying to remember. Is that a
Cool.
Bushi skill?
And we're going with willpower, and I'll use my void point to gain a skill.
I'm just trying
on
to make sure what it is actually.
So that's my only void point. I'm expending it.
It's actually not its own skill either. It's a sub skill of something. I'm just trying to remember what's the sub skill of.
Okay, so you'll give you an extra roll and keep die.
Okay, so a 30 on the dot.
Okay, as you do this and you're staring at her and she's avoiding your gaze and everything else, but your smoldering intensity brings her eyes up and she looks you in the eye and you can see the fear there, but as soon as your eyes lock and your smolder and your flare of your nostrils, she falls to her knee, weeps, and starts to shake. At that same time, you see the Caillou Excuse me, Emerald Magistrate, please. My wife is pregnant, and we have to get her to her mother's house in Yogoshiro as soon as possible. I fear it's going to be a difficult birth. We must get her to the wet nurse. And he runs his hands through his hair. His eyes are looking about kind of nervously as he does this, and he goes to confront his wife, but he stops as he feels the intensity of your glare.
I will say as I'm fucking staring the two of them down, I'm only gonna ask this once. Is there something you want to tell me?
Ooh.
I know nothing of what you speak, Emerald Magistrate. I have been clean since our last meeting.
And so Hide and Akoto are both with me, correct?
Yes, we are both with you.
I will say then, with my power as the Emerald Magistrate, I am detaining you and I am searching this cart.
A look of defeat crosses his face. And he says, "You may search my cart, Magistrate, but I have committed no crime."
That is yet to be seen.
Okay, he kind of pulls his wife off to the side.
So I'll turn to my two compatriots and say they're trying to get out of town pretty quick.
Just curiosity question for you, Clay.
Okay.
When you spend void, can you still spend void to gather low skills?
You can spend a void point to say you have that skill, so it gives you 1k1. So
Yeah.
it does explode and gives it to you. You don't need to spend it just to say I have low skills. If you want to have that skill, you can
Oh,
spend
no,
it.
no. I mean, the reason I'm asking is I couldn't remember if void only allowed you to gain skills that were not considered low.
No, you can use any skill because you're already taking the honor hit for doing that. So
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because intimidation is actually a low skill.
yes, it is.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, and you have to perceive that I intimidated them, though.
I know.
Oh, it's kind of blatantly obvious.
Well, I didn't say anything though. I just used a gaze.
Well,
That's
but the problem here is, does Akoto really give a fuck?
That's true as well. So if he doesn't care, he's not paying attention. So what are you guys doing now that he's kind of subservient to whatever you want to do to him?
I'm going to go search his cart. I'm going to claim the authority of the Emerald Magistrate. And I'm going to play it off, and Emerald Magistrate better go along with it and search his cart.
While he's searching the cart, I will ask Hide if he'd like to assist me in testing the two of them with Jade.
Oh Lord, we're gonna put these poor
So
people
he nods, but allows you to proceed because you are you outstation him. And what he does, let me turn this over real quick.
Have I told you you're a terrible person lately?
I'm gonna treat crab criminals like absolute garbage.
Okay, who are you going to, and who is Caillou going to, or who is Hide going to?
Especially this one in particular. I have this woman like fucking putty in my hand, so I'm going to the woman first.
Because I don't going to the woman, and
I'm not convinced she's pregnant, Clay. I think she might be packing some shit down there, pretending to be pregnant.
Ooh.
Okay, you
wait. Can I? Would that trigger sincerity from him to see if they're lying to him?
There are ways to check if the baby is real.
Yeah, you can just stab him in the stomach.
I say that because I don't know of any woman that would like fall down to her knees and risk falling on her belly pregnant with a child.
This is true. I agree with you, but I say you just take your wakizashi and stab it in there and see what happens. But at this point, I'm willing to do a lot of things that are not honorable.
Right. We'll either get pure opium or baby intestine. You are muted, by the way, Clay.
You are muted, buddy. He's trying to say something.
Okay, you press the jade against her, and nothing happens.
Okay, so nothing.
As you touch her and press the jade against her, Hida, if you're telling him to do it to the other, is approaching, and as he approaches and that jade comes out, you kind of reflects in the light of the lantern and everything, and as it touches the skin of the Caillou, you smell burnt flesh, and that's when initiative happens.
Oh boy, where's my initiative against 6K3? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This is the most magistrate-y thing I've done.
9, 8, 7. 24, Clay.
Okay. I need my paper out so I can write this shit down. Okay, so Kodo 24. What about you, Hida?
34.
34 and 33 for Mr. Caillou. Okay, so 34, what are you going to do?
Real quick, Clay. Would I smell the burning flesh? Would it stop? Would it be strong enough to stop me from the search?
No, you continue to search.
Okay, so I'm actually going to have to take an action.
Is you're going to hear what sets this off is the burning flesh smell, and the Caillou kind of, and it doesn't sound like what he sounded like earlier. That's what's going to have you.
That's fine. That's fine. The reason I ask is I'm probably, because of how fast it's happened, I'm probably gonna have to take at least an action to draw my weapon because I don't have my weapon out right now.
That is correct. So what are you going to do, Hida? It is your turn. You see that the Caillou has kind of reached his arm back and grabbed it, and he's kind of looking at the Hida and kind of hisses at him.
Now the Hida is like squared up to him perfectly, right?
Yeah, it's like just think of like a bored patrol officer pulling you over for a speeding ticket. He's bored and he's just going through the motions, and as soon as that happens, a shock look happens on his face. Holy! And that's when,
orientation wise though, Clay, he's like guarding him in basketball. That's like kind of how he's standing in front of the guy.
okay, let's say you and I were side by side. You're on my left. The woman is on the left. The cart is behind you, and the Hida. The merchant is on. He's probably at your angle, probably at your 2 o'clock direction from where you're standing, and you're kind of was leaning over, dealing with the woman because she's still on the ground on her knees, and that's when you're kind of looking up and you see him at your 2 o'clock direction, and the guy had taken a step back and hissed, and that voice and the smell got to you, and you see that piece of jade that Hida was using to press against this guy's flesh has flared up and is got that oily, tar look to it.
Okay. I'm done playing. I'm gonna kneel down. I'm gonna ignore that sound and let the Hida handle his business. And I'm gonna kneel down to that woman and grab her kimono and try to rip off the front of it to reveal her stomach to see if it's real or if she's packing.
Ooh, hang on, I gotta take a note here. Okay, as you do that, you tear open her kimono, ripping it from her. Her chest and stomach exposed, the bulge of the unborn child reaching out, and just for shits and giggles, you see movement of a hand, possibly, or a head, or a kick, as your hand just kind of grazes at her, and she looks horrified up at you.
I will frown and say, "Congratulations, he seems to have the strength of a crab."
Tears well up in her eyes, as if she's looking at fucking Fulin himself. You see that the Caillou reaches out and kind of coming from his kimono, from his arms, he's wearing those long-armed kimonos that kind of drip to his side. And coming from that arm sleeve, you see a leg kind of reach out, but instead of like a leg of a human, it is more of an arm or leg of a spider, and it shoots out right in front and impales the Hida. I need to roll for damage from him.
This Hida has no luck, by the way.
And he's going to do 4 raises on damage.
Oh, dear Lord.
Did succeed.
This is like the we need like a counter that shows loose tits in this game. This is like the third set of loose tits.
You're the ones exposing them. Okay.
Oh, hang on. You guys are not the ones exposing them. I think every set has been purely Andrew.
Hey, these jugs are probably massive too. Pregnant, like there's some milk production probably going on.
Yes, they are quite set for a child. With this, with an attack of 47 and damage of 45, you see that leg, that spider-like tendril, just reach and go right into the chest of the Hida. And now it is the Hida's turn. And you see him reap down, and he kind of does like a kung fu chop right down on this leg, breaking it from him, and he stumbles back, and he's got that impalement of the leg on him, and the ink or whatnot from this arm. You see the face of the Caillou start to shift and change, and eyeballs start to open onto his forehead to make that half moon of that a spider would have kind of thing. Hair start to grow from his face, and his body starts to expand. You see that leg, that prosthetic leg, kind of pop off as well. And ripping from the flesh of this human is this large spider. That's on him. That's on the Hida. It is now the Akoto's turn. Akoto, you are now just seeing this as you're searching through shit and hearing all this wetness of flesh being torn asunder. And you see the exposed front of this woman, this pregnant, almost 9-month pregnant woman on the ground, and the Hida standing over him.
Okay. I'm gonna get out my katana for my first simple action. Am I close enough to move in and still attack?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my only attack, and I'm gonna use my free raise from my rank 1 technique against him, and I'm gonna call that for a damage if I hit. Which I mean at 10k3, I think it is 10k4, whatever it is. Yeah, 10k3 re-rolling ones. I should be able to hit him.
Okay.
I would hope. Okay, I rolled like shit. Oh, only 1 explosion. Nice. Actually, nope, that's a 1, so re-roll it. Okay, so let's grab that and re-roll 18. Okay, so 18 plus 9 is what? 27 plus 7, 34.
34 is a hit.
Okay, so I'm going to be rolling. A raise for damage is 1k0, right?
A raise is 1k0, correct?
Okay, yeah, so I start at 4k2, adding my strength, which is 3, 7k2. I'll take 16 points of damage on that.
Okay.
I rolled another 1. That sucked.
Okay. The wife is going to sit there, start to cry. She's horrified, looking between this massive or regular-sized Hida and this massive creature that bursts through the skin of her husband pop out. It is back on top. Hida can punch you.
Is there a? I'll look to the cart really quickly, like a hawk. Is there like a canvas or something on the cart?
Yes, there is.
I want to run over and grab it and like yank it off magician style and toss it over to the woman I just exposed.
Just pause button. Would it be kind of loose because I've been searching through that cart, Clay?
Yeah, it's on top. You kind of push it aside. It's within his arm reach.
Okay, it's fine. I'm just double checking how it's. I'm trying to see this all in my head. So that's what I was asking.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are close enough. Basically, what's happened now is the magistrate is kind of again standing up in front of the woman. 2 o'clock. He's side by side with you, Akoto. Now behind the Akoto is the other Hida. As he stepped back, Akoto stepped forward. You just reached over, grabbed the cloth, and threw it over the woman. So I'll do that as your movement. You still have an action if you wish to use it.
Am I within range? Can I like bend around the Akodo and try to take a left jab?
Yeah, you could. You're actually within angle of him. You could hit him on his right side. Remember, you stuck to his right, so yeah, you're on his right side, or yeah, his right side.
Is he complete spider right now, or kind of like anthropomorphic?
Anthropomorphic.
All right, I want to take a shot then with my left hand because I haven't drawn my weapon, and see if I can hit him in the kidney.
Okay. So you're doing a call shot, so that'll be 2 raises.
Okay, and for is there what's the skill for using hand to hand?
That it's jujitsu in this game.
Okay, excellent. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to cheat.
No, you're doing fine. I, on the other hand, need to find this.
Oh, damn it. 29.
29 is a miss.
So I'll take I'll like lean over once again, going for his bum leg side, and take like a little jab at his kidney and just whiff and kind of duck back.
Okay. So you do that, and he just. It is now his turn, and he looks to face you. You have ruined my plan, magistrate. I have taken this body and hidden for so long that you come about. You've spoken with me and didn't realize who you spoke with. Oh, I know nothing of the stolen shit that you bother me with, but now that you've taken my disguise, and then he'll attack you, and he'll attack Akodo. Attack.
Do I get any bonus to defense since I'm using his bum leg?
You notice that his bum leg is no longer really bothering him. It's kind of growing out and kind of falling as another spider-like leg is there.
Can I use Akodo as cover?
No, you're not using the lion as cover.
Because I ducked behind him.
No, absolutely. The Akodo will get the fuck out of the way. He doesn't care.
27 hits you.
I'd be willing to add like 10 TN to or take 10 TN away from Akodo's armor and give it to myself.
Maybe next time. But does a 27 hit you?
I'm higher on initiative, no.
Okay, so he misses you, but he is going after the Akodo now.
Yay, is he going to call any raises?
Yes, he is.
Yay, I get a +1K0 against him.
Because he wants to do damage to you. Damage is if it succeeds in hitting you. Oh!
What do he roll?
52.
Yeah, he's going to hit me. Even
For
with
22 points of damage.
Jesus Christ. So I take 17.
I think what that looks like too, Clay, is he takes a swing at me and then I dodge behind Akodo and a second and nails him.
That's cool. We'll roll with that. He takes his massive spider-like leg that's dripping with snot and other sliminess. Go ahead.
This is a legitimate question. So I'm going to be at 11K0, which will drop the 1K0 or the one die rolled. Does that automatically become 1 kept, or do I have to have 2 dice?
That becomes a kept now, so it'll be
Okay.
10K, whatever
10K4.
Yeah.
Okay, 10K4. Okay, it's because it's my go, right?
It is now. He went. It's the Hita's go.
Oh yeah, the
and he stopped. Who got hit?
I did.
I need a.
Oh yeah, I gotta
earth
give you
check from you. If you'd be so kind.
earth check. 3K3. I think I'm okay, Clay. What's 19 plus 8?
27.
Yeah, I beat it. I'm good.
So you've taken less. Okay, that corruption. You've got Iker where he struck you in the chest. But again, you notice that the Hita Kampachi, the Emerald Magistrate's on one side, is like on your left as you guys are facing this creature. And as he ducked down to avoid the blow, you got smacked right in the chest. And that clawed hand just rips across your armor. It is now your turn, sir.
So I go? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so 10K4 for both attacks. Roll raising. Oh my god, that's going to be a bloodbath. I got 3 10s in here, Clay.
Good.
So that's gonna. So let me roll that. Okay, that's 11. And 6 is your lowest when your lowest dice. That's a 19. That's at 18. So what's 11? Let's see, 30, 48, 56, and I'm using my free raise to hit him for additional damage.
Okay, you succeed.
Okay, then I'm going to spend a void to give myself an additional 1k1 for damage with the katana. So that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8k4 for damage. This is just my first swing. Okay, yeah, I'll take that in a heartbeat. Okay, so that 10 is going to get another one. So 13 plus 9, 22. Oh, no, not this. 29 points of damage.
Okay. He's still up, but hurting.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm at plus 10 for all my rolls.
Okay.
Just as a heads up.
I will remember so.
Okay, do I have any ones in there? I do not. Okay, so let's do the 2's going to be less. Roll it. 13, 17, 20, 27, 34. And I'm going to add my honor rank to that to make sure I hit for a total of 41.
Okay. You hit him.
Okay. And then it's another 3, 4. Do I get a free raise on this? Yeah, and I'm going to just use my free raise for attacks on this. Every time I attack, I get that ability. Just double checking that. So and that's another 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah. I'm doing 7k3 or 7k2. Okay. Another 16 points, Clay.
Okay. He still stands.
Yeah, but he's fucked up pretty good. So I'll take it. Okay, I rolled like a champ on that round. I'm okay.
Okay, we are back on top.
You better come out from behind me, you cowardly bitch.
Yeah, I'm going to circle out. Since his leg doesn't matter, I'm going to go around Akoto to the right and draw my Moto Scimitar and take a swing at him. Four.
I need to stop getting hurt in this game, just for the record.
I'm going to use my luck roll, one of my luck points.
Okay.
17, 31, 39, 45.
Got him.
Okay. 8k damage. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You remember the special things your Sacred Blade does?
Oh, I am nicked, by the way, so that would be 42.
Still hit.
Okay. Yes, 13, 19. 31 points of damage.
Good lord, you're like a truck. You're not allowed to say you're not a combat character.
Oh, he's still hurting reels. It's his turn. I was given this name freely, Hida. He traded it. But I must be going. Let my wife and I leave. And he strikes out the two of you.
Your wife has been detained.
Embarrassingly. Like picking up a crack whore.
Her son will now call me Uncle Hide.
He is going to do 2 raises on damage. And he's going at... Actually, he'll do 2 for your leg. He's going to try to trip you. Okay, with that, Does a 45 get you plus 10 to your target number?
For which one, me or me or Andrew?
Or Andrew? I'll go with Andrew first.
Yeah, that hits me.
So you can give me. It's going to be a reflex athletics, and you're taking 15 points of damage.
Okay.
So you're taking 5, you lucky bastard.
Yes, that is the way the armor works. 20 for the reflex.
You are prone. And the weight of that armor, and he just hits you, just cleaves that leg. Poof! And you fall onto your back. As you look at it,
He's done it now.
you see the Hida kind of looking down at you, and he still has that leg in his chest. You look over to your left, and you see that woman horrified, still looking between you and the monstrosity that was her husband. It is now Hida. Hida is screwed. He's still hurt from the last Oni. Hida will kind of crash into the cart, leaning against it, and the rickshaw kind of tumbles, and he tumbles back. So he's sitting on his ass with his half of his torso inside the rickshaw. The rickshaw is tumbled over, and rice and different personal items have fallen and kind of swarmed you there, Hida. And it is now going to be, if you step around, the terrain is difficult.
I did ask him to search the cart, so
It's spilled out all around you, just different trinkets. So in this vicinity, if you move around and do something, it'll raise the TN by 5. It is now your turn, Akoto.
Okay, so he didn't call any raises against me, so it's only 10k3 again. Sadly, I'm actually gonna use my my ability to reduce his armor target number when I attack him. So he does not get his armor target number to his 2 hit. There's a 10. That'll work. 13 plus 9 is 22 plus 9 is 31. And that does not include my plus 10, so.
Okay, you got a 31?
Yeah.
Okay, you got him.
Okay. Does that include my plus 10 to hit him?
No, if it's a plus 10, it's 41, you miss.
Okay, what's his armor? What does he derive from his armor? Because he's losing his armor target number too.
He drops 5 from that, so...
Okay, so I'm still... okay, so I still miss him. It would matter, I still miss him. Because of that. So I need to hit a 41. That's what I need to hit. Well, actually, no. I need to hit a 36. That's a reroll. That's a reroll because I've got... Oh, look at that. I'm going to hit him like a champ. There's 30 right there. Let's reroll those 3 quick. 34, 37.
37, you succeed.
Just barely got a success on that. Here's the damage. There's a... Wow. Shit, man, like a champ today. Okay, 36 plus 45 damage.
Okay, go ahead and describe the kill.
All right, he's kind of bringing those spindly legs around. I'm going to duck in between him. I'm going to ram that katana right up in between his sternum, and I'm going to stick that thing out right between the right beside the spinal column. And as I do, I'm going to rip down on it, just flooding ichor everywhere.
And that is the end of combat. The woman screams as that ichor kind of pulls. She didn't take any damage when she's in it. With that, go ahead and give me an earth check.
Everybody.
Say,
do I need to give you another one?
Kodo doesn't need to.
Okay. Because I threw that tarp on her, does that protect her from the ichor?
Yes, it does.
There's something decent.
After all the terrible things we've done in this game, there's something decent. Let's be honest with ourselves,
Ooh.
guys.
One dice got 2 explosions. 28.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Okay, you're able to not take it in. And that is where we end this combat. And she just starts to sob uncontrollably underneath the tarp.
I will get up and walk over to her and pull the tarp down, not to expose her, but to expose her face, and like wrap it around her, kind of like a cloak.
She shrivels it, shivers as you do so, and looks about, scared. Doesn't meet your eyes.
I'm gonna go over and make sure that the that the witch hunter is not gonna die, but that's about all I can do.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check then. Medicine, you have. If
Well,
not, it's
guess
just
what? This is gonna be straight up intelligence with no explosions because I have no void left. Okay, so 20.
Oh, he's really messed up. He still has
figured.
that broken leg. And as you kind of look around, you poke around, you guys are kind of talking about it. He says, "No, I cannot remove it. If I remove it, I may die." And he kind of gives you that stoic look, and he starts to wheeze. Your roll wasn't high enough, but his chest is somewhat deflated on one side.
Yeah, so meta-wise, he probably has a punctured lung.
Pretty much, but he stands up. Ugh.
Ouch.
Go ahead. You guys can give me an intelligence Shadowlands lore if you have the skill.
I do not.
Sage would apply.
Okay.
I don't fight Shadowlands, unlike some people.
31.
31's high enough. You faced a spider oni. It is a spider spirit that has probably been corrupted and is masked about. With what it said and what your knowledge is, these are tricksters and whatnot and manipulators. And since it said that it got its name, it's a named oni, and so it took over the identity of this merchant. And whatnot's going about, and the woman starts to sob. So you think, as you're piecing this together, it doesn't match. You think this only may be a random occurrence or not tied into your overall case that you got upon, but you don't know. You didn't roll high enough, but you think you've got some suspicion that your case isn't solved with this oni or with this merchant.
I'll say then, come, let me help you up and get you back inside. And I'll turn to Akodo and say, or Akodo and Hide and say, will you come in for a moment? That way we can talk to this woman and we can have a look at those wounds, Hide.
I'll put my katana away and I'll help the witch hunter inside. I will put my arm up underneath his shoulders to guide him inside, even if he puts up a fight.
He'll take it in with stride and enters inside. You guys close the door. This place has been packed. It looks like it was hastily moved about, searched, and whatnot. You see in the floor that there's a missing panel, and it's possibly where they stored their meager koku and whatever treasures. Again, these are actual clansmen of yours. But she just kind of breaks down on the Tommy mat and I knew something was wrong a year ago when my husband returned from the south. And she starts to shake.
Oh, wait a second. She said a year ago?
That is correct.
Can I make a Shadowlands roll? What would I think would happen if an Oni has possessed somebody like that merchant or replaced the merchant and then impregnates a woman?
Go ahead and give me a intelligence Shadowlands knowledge check.
Hey, Clay, I'm going to go head to head real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we're going to take a few minutes after that, after his roll, and then I'll be back.
Well, I'll just hold on then. I'll just roll then. That's fine.
I got a 38 on that one.
You've got enough. Most times, it's an abomination. Comes out different. And we'll leave it at that. We'll take a few minute break. What will the Emerald Magistrate do?
Dun dun dun.
Okay. Be back in a sec, fellas. Oh yeah, I'm back.
I am here.
And that looks like everyone. So, what would you guys like to do? You found yourself inside. The Emerald Magistrate is thinking of something, and we shall begin.
We the first thing that Kodo is going to question here is whether or not this thing is behind the creation, the actual physical creation of the mask. It's clearly a dark, evil spirit from the Shadowlands of some kind.
I don't know if it's behind the creation of the mask, but it seems to be aware of what we were doing because it tried to deny it.
A little too fast. Hey, Clay, would sincerity actually work against the ravings of an Oni? Or would it be a really ridiculously high TN?
It would be pretty high if you were trying to see if he's lying or not.
Yeah, I'm not going to even try when I'm injured then because it's already plus 10. I mean, from a character perspective, I'm certainly curious if he's lying, but I don't think I'm in a shape to actually process the information it would take to do so.
I want to. Can I look at the Hide now that we're inside? Because I have a little bit more medical knowledge.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Got 15. Okay, 32.
What is it that you want to know with your medical knowledge?
I want to see if he is going to expire unless we get him some kind of immediate medical assistance.
If you sent him back to your office, Yoko could probably do something for him, but he's going to need. If he doesn't get the overall help, depending on magical means, then he could probably have an inflated chest, and he probably lost his lung. But Yoko would be your best bet. But again, time may be of the essence.
So I will say then we need to return back to my magistrate offices, and you're coming with us. I say that to the woman.
And then she stops as she starts to cry.
I'm gonna this is going to have to be where my weakness comes in here. I'm going to point out very clearly that I have a hard time believing she didn't know her husband was possessed. There's no way I buy that. I am completely compassionless. She is a monster as far as I'm concerned.
We have holding cells back at my offices. We'll suss out the truth.
I'm going to go in and reach down to pick her up unless somebody's going to stop me, and I am not going to be kind about it.
No, I'm not going to have my attention on that at all, especially now that I suspect that she's carrying some abomination. But I am going to help my my brother up here, my Hide brother.
That's fine. So as I grab her, and I don't care if everything falls off of her. I don't care if her tits are exposed or not. I'm going to start frog marching her out towards your office. As far as I'm concerned, she's complacent in all of this. I am tired of Oni and demons and everything else at this point. Damn it. I want this to end now.
Is there like a rice sack we can just put her in, like Borat style? the wedding sack.
You're a dirty fucker.
I'll help the Hide up then if he's gonna start marching her out.
If you're saying something, you're muted, buddy.
If I can, Clay, I want to let him and the woman get a little bit in front of us so the woman is out of earshot, and I need to ask the Hide something while we're walking back to my office.
Not a problem. You can do that.
So I'll say very quiet to him. The woman said that she suspected her husband of turning a year ago, but that baby that's in her womb is at least 9 months. It's almost crowning. That means that there's a high chance that that baby's corrupted or is going to come out as some kind of abomination, and we have to deal with that.
Have a Family Guy abortion. Have her hang from a pole while we hit her with sticks.
I leave that up to you, Emerald Magistrate. That is within your duties. I am just a hunter, and a sore hunter at that. The cult of the moon needs to be. I think they're behind this. I really do. I don't think that creature I don't think that creature was involved in what we've been investigating. It was just bad luck on its part. The fortunes did not favor it.
Yes, I don't believe that it was connected either. I think it might have been aware of something that was going on here, but I don't think it had a hand in creating the masks or with these other issues that we're facing.
Go ahead and give me a history check, intelligence history, and the higher the better.
Okay. Um, 24.
Nope. Something is tweaking on the name, the Cayu's name, a year ago. Tweaks at your memories, but you can't really think what it is. Something is just not bothering you, but it's just nudging your thoughts for a moment, but then it goes away.
I'll say, if I can, I'll say to the Ahide, something isn't clicking with this. Something feels weird about it.
Yes. We have a duty to find this moon cult and others. We did stop an Oni, or the lion did. That was good. And then without rolling, I imagine that the Akoto is kind of ahead of you guys, kind of leading the woman. Or is he back there with you? Where are you, Akoto?
I'm walking ahead of him. At this point, he's let me pull ahead of him by probably about 20 meters or so he can talk quietly with this witch hunter, I think, if I understand what he said right.
Yeah,
You notice that around the leg that's embedded in his chest, you also notice that the skin and flesh has gone black, and the veins around that area have gone black.
all right. I'm gonna pick up the pace and say, "Time to move, brother. If you got any energy left in you to get back to my place, you got to do it now. I have a way to heal you, but we have to make it back to the office. You don't have much time."
He kind of coughs and spews up a little bit as you guys are going and says, "No, there is no time for this." And he kind of coughs a little bit, and that's when you guys approach your kind of courtyard area, your fenced off compound. And as you enter, he kind of stops right before the gate. And he says, "It's too much." And I imagine Kodo has kind of gone through the gates and stuff.
Yep.
And he says, "Will you be my second?"
I'll look at him and I'll grit my teeth and just nod.
He says, "I do not have time to make it to the wall and to take myself out, taking out the enemy." And he kind of, I feel it. Things within me. You must burn me after this deed is done.
I'll draw out my Moto scimitar and I'll say, "I'll make it clean and quick. You won't scream."
He says, "I will." And he kind of pulls off to the side and he closes the gate. He kind of kneels right there on the path that leads up to your residence. You know, you spent the last maybe 6 8 months. Yoko is kind of fixed up, so there's a garden, a little koi pond. You know, it looks nice. It's not richy rich, but it's above average. And he kind of just plants himself. That's when you notice, Akoto, that the two men aren't with you and the head didn't enter. And as you look back, you see the Hida, the witch hunter, on his knees, kind of before the other Hida, the magistrate. And he pulls out his wakizashi, and without ceremony, what do you want to do? But it looks like he's going to stab himself without ceremony or waiting.
I'm not sure I can stop him at this point. And I also understand exactly what he's doing. It makes sense from a messed up way. I am virtuous and everything, but at the same time, he's not going to stop this guy from committing seppuku to save himself from the shame of being tainted. So he's actually going to stop and he's going to watch it to make sure everything is done as properly as possible in the time frame they have.
And with that, he gives you a nod, doesn't look at the Hida above him, and he just guts himself. He's able to do 3 cuts without it, but you do notice that he may be wavering some as you see. Think of zits or bug bites that are starting to form near that wound in that chest, and they seem to be growing.
Yeah, I'll lop his head off like Habib style, because this is a fucking Gaijin scimitar.
Yeah.
And it just clean cuts easily like butter. And as his head rolls off, it stares up looking into the sky. And at that same time, fireworks start to shoot off, bottle rockets. And you know that the parade will soon begin.
I'll look down over his body and I'll say like quietly to myself, "May Hide and Amaterasu watch over you. I will remember your story." And then I'll turn, leaving the body because I don't have time to burn it right now, and quickly walk towards the office.
As you walk closer to me, I'm going to suggest we get an edit to collect the body and the white sheet and everything and prepare it for burning.
Yes, first let's get this woman into a cell.
I'm okay
and
with
with
that.
you see the woman. You escort her where she wants to be. You have about 4 cells in the main open area, and Yoko runs out and sees this and sees the body on the ground and kind of puts two together, and she claps, and your staff, your Heman and Etta enter, your cook and different things. They're all summoned with that clap, and the Edda rush out to gather to follow her instructions.
As they're, I'm going to remind her very quickly that time's of the essence with the parade starting and everything. We can't leave his body out there. It needs to be done like yesterday. While I'm not commanding her, I'm just making it a point of both city cleanliness and pride that this guy gave his life to try to stop this great evil, and he deserves that much. So it's not, I'm not saying this in like a commanding way. This is not like, do it, bitch.
Yeah, Yoga's pretty hard-headed, but she starts to snap to and is preparing the rituals and rites. And as they gather and the cloth is there.
Do we have a Lodi stone here so that he can wash his blade?
There is an area in which you can cleanse yourself and your equipment.
Uh-huh.
You see Yoko kind of pull out. She's got almost like a kanji scroll, and she kind of throws it. And as it lands, gets closer to the body of the Hida, it ignites. And the body of the Hida ignites. She doesn't wait. Once the cloth is wrapped and he's wrapped, she burns him. And you hear upon the wind that she's calling upon the fire kami to assist her in cleansing this area.
That's perfectly fine. She knows the right way to do this, so.
She need. Do I have time? Because I need to speak to her before she does that. Like as soon as I come inside.
Yeah, she's preparing it. It's going to be an actual big ritual. It's going to take probably a half hour to do it.
I tell her what's up with the woman and her being impregnated by the man in the Oni, and tell her I don't have time to investigate this right now, but she's the jailer while I'm gone, and that if she can figure out or come to any kind of wisdom on the issue, I don't know what she's capable of as a Shugenja, but if she can give me an additional information, that would be super helpful by the next time I come back.
Hi, I will provide what I can.
Thank you, Yoko, and hopefully there's an alternative to what I think has to be done, but we shall see.
I do not think so. She kind of breathes in kind of sadly. Both the vessel and what is to come. And then she stops and looks at you, shakes her head, and it goes about her business, instructing the Edda and Heman to do what they need to do.
As long as they're taking care of everything properly, I don't really care how they do it. I'm going to suggest to the Emerald Magistrate, now that she is imprisoned, that we go clean ourselves up properly at the Lodi Stone, because that is the... we are covered in gore, blood, and his weapon is now tainted. He needs to clean it like yesterday. As is mine.
I'm going to go get the Wakazashi from, or the Hide's Wakazashi. He doesn't have a katana, right? Just a wakizashi.
Just the wakizashi.
Yeah, so I'll take that because I'm going to return that to the crabs myself.
Aren't Kuni witch hunters technically Shujinjas?
Yes, they are, and they can have a wakizashi, which he has, but he doesn't have a katana. And this guy was big enough; he probably dealt with things physically, i.e., jiu-jitsu.
Punching him in the face. Yeah. So that's fine. The reason I was asking that is making sure for some reason he wasn't just missing part of his set.
Nope.
Yeah, so I'll say yeah, let's clean up very quickly, and then we need to get to the parade.
So like I said, that's so while he's collecting everything, I'm gonna go ahead and head back there and start cleaning myself up the best I can.
That's good. You know the overall ceremony won't happen probably for another 3 hours at 4 o'clock. About 1 now.
Mm.
But the parade is starting to shift. People are starting to gather. So that takes time to do what you need to do. Where are you off to now?
That is a legitimate question because somebody is now deceased. Hang on a second. I need to mark off who we just murdered. I mean, who's now dead.
Are you going to invest the
Kuni Ryu?
He'd be the next best. I agree. He's the next best bet. So, I do like. I'm actually injured pretty bad at this point, guys. Like, God, we really need a Shujinja in this group. But like, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to be functional much longer. Like, I'm badly hurt, pretty badly hurt.
Dun, dun, dun. Can you survive the night?
Probably not.
Time is of the essence, Akodo.
It is. No, that's a meta thing. I'm saying as a meta thing, I don't. My character is agreeing that we should go investigate this guy, but at the same time, I'm curious if God, I wish we had a Shujinja with us. We could just heal ourselves.
And Yoko is out of spells.
Yeah, and also it's just you shouldn't be have to be throwing that much health at us. But
so with that, and as you guys make your way to Kuni Ryo's establishment that you have the address for, notice that the streets have gone a little more quieter as this area. They're gathering. You hear them in other alleys and whatnot. And as you approach his domicile, you see some festival goers. Think of 3 or 4 small children in their early teens. Think of possibly, you can't see with the porcelain masks that they're wearing. And a lot of the other party goers, as you've made your way here, are starting to put those masks on. And again, you see about an old lady, an old man, middle-aged couple, and about 4 children of 13, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of in the area, and they're kind of partying and doing stuff. And as you guys approach this man's domicile in his home, and you knock and the door opens, you get an eerie feeling. And as you turn, because I'm going to kind of come to our conclusion tonight, let you guys rest since I kind of last minute this on you. And then hopefully we can play next Thursday if you're available on the 27th. And then we'll take our normal 2 weeks. But as you turn to look, the children are staring at you. The old couple is staring at you. And think, now that you look at it, it's like interesting. When you got to the door and you were now kind of getting ready to announce your presence, they were jumble playing. But as they've stopped, they're kind of a semicircle around you, staring at you, their heads off to the side, tilted to the side, staring and not moving and just watching. You can't see their eyes through the mask, the silk cloth in the eye sockets. And that's when you hear, "Welcome, Emerald Magistrate. I'm glad you could come and visit," coming from inside the shop. The door slowly creaks open, and all you can see inside is darkness.
Because that's not creepy.
And that's where we'll end it. Thanks, guys, for playing. I'm going to shut the broadcast down and BS for a minute.
Just